Hello everyone, we're the group 8. We will tackle a lesson today which is the title is Cultural Heritage Tourism. By the way, I am Samantha Nicole Raganas together with my group mate Miss Florian Lucabon, Miss Sheena Ruiz, Mark Marvin Noynay. Next slide please. Today, we will discussing cultural tourism in the Philippines. Many developing countries, including our use cultural tourism as a means of social, cultural, and economic development. UNESCO recognized the vital role tourism plays in reviving, enhancing, and nurturing our cultural heritage by practicing heritage tradition. We satisfy a nostalgic longing while preventing a sense of loss. Sustainable cultural heritage tourism provides tangible and intangible benefits to both tourists and host communities now and the future. International organizations such as IUCN and UNESCO acknowledgement sustainable tourism as crucial for conserving nature and culture. It supports the human-nature relationship and encourages the sustainable use of our resources. Next slide, please. Now, let's define what we mean by culture. Culture has no single definition. It's complete way of life encompassing custom, habits, and practices. UNESCO defines culture as including spiritual and material features, intellectual and emotional element, lifestyle, values, tradition, and beliefs. We can see cultural example in indigenous farming practices like kaingin, food gatherings and ritual, and festivals such as Songkran and Santa Cruzan. Culture is ever-changing, adapting through time and the environment. Human-environment interaction shapes cultural evolution, and cultural continuity depends on passing tradition to the next generation. Ultimately, sustainable cultural tourism helps preserve and revitalize culture. Cultural tourism is a development tool highlights how cultural tourism can benefit developing nations like the Philippines. UNESCO's recognition emphasizes the importance of tourism in preserving cultural heritage. Benefits of sustainable cultural tourism touches on the positive impacts for both tourists and host communities. Definition of culture provides a comprehensive understanding of what culture includes, from tangible aspects like rituals and intangible elements like values. Cultural evolution and continuity explain how culture adapt over time and the importance of passing tradition for generation. Sustainable tourism as a preserver concludes that sustainable cultural tourism is key to preserving and revitalizing culture. Next slide, please. Cultural tourism focuses on culture as an attraction or motivation for travel. It includes active or passive appreciation of cultural artifacts, production, or expressions. Table 10.1 Type of cultural tourism. According to our table, there are several types of cultural tourists. The first one is primary reason is the first one is purposeful. Primary reason is culture seeking deep culture experience. They travel specifically for a deep cultural experience. Sightseeing, primary reason is culture seeking superficial cultural experience. Culture is their main draw, but they prepare a more superficial experience. Stare deep and fast. Secondary reason is culture unintentionally feel deep cultural experience. Kanang wala giplano but they end up having a profound cultural experience. The second to the last is casual. Secondary reason is culture seeking superficial cultural experience. Culture is a secondary interest and they seek a light experience. The last one is no intended accidental. No intended motivate but visit cultural attraction anyway. They visit cultural site without really planning to. To enjoy, a purpose of traveling is to enjoy, learn, or simply experience cultural expressions. According to Smith 2009, cultural tourism involves passive, active, interactive engagement with culture. And Miss Florian will continue the reporting.
Good day, everyone. My name is Florian Lucabon, the reporter number 2. Today, I will be discussing the different types of cultural tourists and the major categories of heritage sites that attract them. Cultural tourists differ in their motivations and level of cultural engagement. Purposeful tourists travel mainly for culture and seek deep, meaningful experiences. Sightseeing tourists also travel primarily for culture but prefer light or surface level experiences. Serendipitous tourists do not plan for culture but end up having unexpectedly deep cultural experiences. Casual tourists visit cultural sites as a secondary activity and engage only at a shallow level, while incidental tourists have no cultural motivation yet visit cultural attractions because they are part of the trip. Cultural heritage, the World Heritage Convention recognizes both cultural and natural features as important heritage that must be protected for future generations. Today, there are over 900 World Heritage Sites worldwide, reflecting outstanding cultural and natural or mixed values. These sites attracts millions of tourists, so strong conservation efforts are needed to preserve their authenticity. So, heritage sites comes in different forms. Natural heritage includes natural parks, caves, islands, and protected landscapes. Cultural heritage involves museums, festivals, crafts, and performances. Built heritage consists of monuments, old towns, architecture, and archaeological sites. Industrial heritage includes favorite no. Industrial heritage includes factories, mines, and mills. Religious sites such as temples, churches, and mosques affect spiritual Traditions. Military heritage includes battlefields and war cemeteries, while literary or artistic heritage covers homes and landscapes associated with famous writers, musicians, and artists.
Natural and cultural heritage sites are important places that show our history, culture, and nature. Examples in the Philippines are the Baroque churches, rice terraces, Bigan Puputaha Rift, and the Puerto Princesa Underground River. These places are protected because they are special and we want future generations to still use them. Next slide, Lord. Next is cultural heritage attractions. These include things like buildings, objects, festivals, dance, and traditions. Tourists learn more about our culture when they visit this place or join cultural activities to help them understand our history and lifestyle better. Next slide. Now for the concept and principles. Cultural tourism is always changing. Sometimes cultural is adjusted and reshaped to make it more appealing to tourists. But festivals and cultural presentations help keep traditions alive and help tourists shape them more. That's next. And lastly, the culture and nature. Culture and nature are connected. Many communities, especially indigenous groups, rely on nature for their daily life and traditions. That's why sustainable tourism and conservation are important so we can protect both culture and the environment. Next reporter.
Alright, so thank you for that, Mishina. And now I'm going to discuss diversity. Cultural diversity is an essential part of sustainable tourism. According to UNESCO, cultural diversity is just as important as biodiversity because it helps societies grow and develop sustainably. In tourism, diversity enriches a visitor's experience through different traditions, practices, and cultural expressions. Countries like the Philippines and Malaysia use their multi ethnic backgrounds to promote tourism. Sustainable tourism also helps communities preserve their culture by allowing locals to decide what heritage is shared publicly. When traditions are revitalized and cultural exchange happens peacefully, tourism becomes a tool for unity and long-term development. So, ang cultural diversity importante sa turismo kay makahatag og lain-laing kasinatian sa turista. Sa Pilipinas, ang atong daghang kultura o tradisyon magpalig-on sa turismo ug makatabang sa komunidad. And next is indigenous tourism. Indigenous tourism focuses on visitors experiencing the lifestyle and traditions of native communities and their natural environment. This includes observing rituals, customs, and daily life. Tourism writers describe it as travelers seeking quaint or exotic cultures, but today it's more about respecting indigenous identity and allowing communities to benefit from tourism. In some cases, this is also called ethnic tourism, especially when it indulges or includes non indigenous groups. No matter the term, indigenous tourism allows deeper cultural learning while helping preserve traditional knowledge. So, ang indigenous tourism kay pagbisita sa mga lumad aron makita ang ilang tinuray nga kultura. Importante nga sila respetuon ug sila mismo ang makinabang sa turismo para mapadayon ang ilang tradisyon. Alright, so that's for indigenous tourism. So last is sustainable heritage. Sustainable heritage means protecting cultural sites, traditions, and natural environments while still allowing tourism to grow. It is built on three pillars. First is economic sustainability, which ensures tourism continues to support local economies in the long run. Second is social sustainability, which respects the local community, their traditions, and the right to benefit from tourism. And third is environmental sustainability, which protects physical locations so future generations of tourists can enjoy them too. With these three pillars, heritage can be preserved while still benefiting communities today. So, ang sustainable heritage nagpasabot nga atong ampingan ang kultura, lugar o kinaiyahan. Kini nakabase sa tulo ka haligi which is economic, social, and environmental para magpabili ng heritage para sa future generations. So in conclusion, sustainable tourism relies on cultural diversity, the protection of indigenous communities, and the responsible management of heritage sites. So, when tourism respects people, culture, and the environment, it becomes a powerful tool for preserving traditions and supporting local development. This balanced approach is especially important in communities like the Philippines, where rich cultural diversity and heritage are central to identity. So, thank you for listening to our report of cultural heritage tourism. I hope this helped you understand why cultural diversity, indigenous tourism, and sustainable heritage are all important in creating a responsible and meaningful tourism industry. Let us continue to appreciate our culture, respect our communities, and care for our heritage so future generation can experience them as well. Once again, thank you and have a great day. Mabuhay!